Welcome to Motivational Thoughts. Today we have a guest, Clint Abernathy. Clint is a president of Texas Health Resource Alliance Hospital. Welcome to Motivational Thoughts.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me today.
Thank you. What is the meaning of your name, Abernathy? It is from where it's originally?
So Abernathy is a Scottish name, and actually it was formed from our Scottish clan. The Aber is the mouth of the Nathy River.
Oh.
And so you have Abernathy, and one of my dreams one day is to go to that river and see exactly where my family originated from many hundreds of years ago.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. സുഹൃത്തുക്കളെ, ഇന്ന് നമ്മോടൊപ്പം ക്ലിന്റ് അബർനാഥി, അദ്ദേഹം പ്രസിഡന്റ് THR ഹോസ്പിറ്റൽ സിസ്റ്റത്തിൻ്റെ അലയൻസ് ഹോസ്പിറ്റലിൻ്റെ അദ്ദേഹത്തിന് വളരെ ചെറുപ്പം തന്നെ അദ്ദേഹം തൻ്റെ കഠിനാധ്വാനത്തിൽ കൂടെ ഈ വലിയ പൊസിഷനിൽ എത്തിയിട്ടുള്ള ആളാണ്. ലൈഫ് സക്സസ്ഫുള്ളായ ഒരു അദ്ദേഹമാണ്. അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ ഒരു എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് നമ്മൾക്ക് കേൾക്കാം. സക്സസ്ഫുൾ മാൻ ഇൻ യുവർ യങ് ഏജ് ഇൻ പ്രൊഫഷൻ. We all are very inspired when we see you, sir. You are a person with a difference. You may have a lot of experience to share with our viewers.
Yes.
So since it is a COVID time, I will let you talk. I am moving from the screen.
Excellent.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Johnson.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. All right. Well, first and foremost, I appreciate Johnson. He is such a fantastic team member for us here at our hospital, and we are all inspired by Johnson. So when he asked, will I say a few words for motivational thoughts today? The answer wasn't just yes, but it was yes with 10 exclamation points, because it's the least I can do for a fantastic friend and leader. Well, today I wanted to share a few thoughts around a rock and a flower. Over the last 18 months, we have all, every one of us, no matter if you work in a hospital, if you don't work, but if you're a part of any community, which you all are, we have all been influenced by the COVID pandemic. At the hospital, that's been heightened somewhat because of the aggression of the virus and the amount of patients that we've seen. And so I have done a lot of thinking about our team and about the well-being of our team. And most importantly, when a team member is burned out, or when a team member has compassion fatigue, how do they recover? That goes for me personally. That goes for every single employee here at Texas Health Alliance. We are big on being well, mind, body, and spirit. And the spiritual aspect is the piece that we think drives everything else. So I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story about a flower and a rock. Just here the last 8 days or so, I spent some time just east of Jackson Hole, Wyoming. I had the opportunity to go into the mountains and actually be off of the grid for about 8 days. And so it was my first time since the invention of cell phones that I had zero cell service, I had zero emails, zero text, zero anything. And so it really gave me a great opportunity to get my own head, which is scary sometimes, I must admit. But most importantly, have the time to recover, but have the time to really think and reflect. So on the first day of my trip, I was up with a couple of friends, and we were in the mountains, and we're actually on an elk hunt. And on the first day of that, we had the strategy of going up to about 9,000 feet and just observing. And so I sat there from daylight to dark, and just observing what was going on in the mountains around me. Our ultimate goal was to find some elk somewhere within the mountain range, and then ultimately in the coming days go see if we could find them. But as I was sitting there in the mountain, it was a fairly treacherous environment. It was windy. There was a lot of rocks there was no growth. We were outside of trees. We were outside of any grass and meadows. We were basically sitting in a large area of rocks, just kind of sitting there and observing. And about halfway through the day, I happened to glance over about 10 feet from me and found this beautiful little, or two of them, little white daisies that were growing and fully bloomed right in the middle of this rocky environment. And so to fast forward throughout the week, I had many beautiful videos of the Milky Way, of beautiful animals, beautiful waterfalls, rivers, streams, trees, you name it. There were many more pictures that were in, I guess, a physical sense, much more beautiful than the two daisies that I took a picture of. But those two daisies began to increase steadily on my mind. I knew that there was some type of spiritual stirring in my spirit that said, what do these two flowers represent to you? And so as I began to think and ponder over the next few days, I really looked through the rocky environment through the lens of what the environment, and how can this environment produce such a beautiful little daisy? And so I began to think about how a rocky environment so often is synonymous to what we go through in life. So call it a pandemic, call it family struggles, call it illness, whatever you may name the rocky environment. It's there and it's real in your life. And so many times when we're in the rocky environment, we don't know what to do. We don't know how to recover. It wears on us, it beats on us, it pours on us. And there's so many times that we think, gosh, how can we grow from this? How can we move on from this? And really, when's the avalanche going to occur here? And as I begin to ponder that, it really reminded me of the environment that our work team has been going through. The COVID pandemic has taken a huge toll on healthcare employees, and that rocky environment was so synonymous to what I have seen over the last 18 to 20 months here at the hospital. But as I kept thinking about this flower and this environment, and the rocky environment, everything that's going on, I quickly realized maybe my view of the environment is not looking through the lens of what the flower sees. And so when you take your mind off what the rocky environment represents and bring it back to what the blooming of the flower is, there's really, I think, an impactful spiritual element there that allows one to grow. So if you look through the flower's point of view, here's a beautifully bloomed flower standing tall. It has sun, it has rain, it has snow, it has all these environmental factors that's helping it to grow and helping it to shine. As a matter of fact, I would even think the flower thinks, you know what, I'm in the strongest of environments. I'm not in sandy soil. I'm not going to blow or wash away. I'm in a rocky environment, and I have the protection of these rocks that are around me. So as I compared these two thoughts, the rocky environment versus the bloom of the flower, I quickly realized that they go hand in hand. A rocky environment only allows bloom, it only allows growth, it only allows someone to bloom into such a fantastic and beautiful little flower. And the flower, using the rocky environment, has a steadfast breath of structure that allows it to sustain all the environmental factors around it. And so I believe that is us as healthcare workers. I believe this is you who may be going through any type of environmental struggle. We have to understand, how do we bloom? First of all, we have to understand and have self-awareness of how do we grow. And I think that's all a personal choice. What helps me turn a rocky environment into a beautiful bloom is different than what helps you, and what helps Johnson, and what helps any of you that may listen to this video. And so I challenge you from a motivational standpoint to understand who you are. Take time to think. Take time to be very mindful and to allow thoughts to come into your mind and just listen. Most importantly, understand, what does it take for you to turn a rocky environment into a beautiful Maybe it's exercise, maybe it's yoga, maybe it's going to church, maybe it's reading a book, maybe it's doing all of those things together. But there is a way for you to sharpen your saw, to pick it back up, and to move forward in your personal mission, and your personal vision, and ultimately your personal calling.
Thank you, Clint.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, man.
So, we are positive.
Positive. Stay positive.
സുഹൃത്തുക്കളെ, സമുദ്രനിരപ്പിൽ നിന്നും 900 അടി ഉയരത്തിൽ പ്രതികൂല സാഹചര്യങ്ങളിൽ മരങ്ങളും പുല്ലുകളും ഇല്ലാത്ത മലമുകളിൽ കല്ലുകൾക്കും പാറകൾക്കും നിറഞ്ഞ അവസ്ഥയിൽ ഒരു ഡെയ്സി പുഷ്പം പ്രതികൂലങ്ങളെ അനുകൂലത്തിൻ്റെ അനുഗ്രഹമാക്കി പുഷ്പിച്ചു നിൽക്കുന്നു. മറ്റുള്ളവർക്ക് ഓജസ്സും തേജസ്സും നൽകുന്ന ഒരു ഡെയ്സി പുഷ്പത്തിൻ്റെ മാതൃക നമുക്ക് പിന്തുടരാം നമ്മുടെ ജീവിതത്തിൽ എന്നതാണ് ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട ക്ലിന്റിൽ നിന്നും നമുക്ക് കേട്ടത്. Thank you.
Dear friends, hope you have enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching it. Please subscribe, share and like this video. Thank you once again.